Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome to the show. All right, so today we're going to be talking about a very serious subject, and that is divorce. All right, so according to stats here in America, over 50% of marriages end in divorce or separation. That's a lot, guys. And let me start by saying that divorce is a very devastating thing, because I've said before, it's not easy. It's not an easy thing for people to go through, guys. So I don't wish that on anyone. And so just make sure today, just right where you are, take a moment to just stop and say a special prayer for any couple you may know personally who's going through a divorce. All right, so most couples who are going through a divorce, they normally go through what we call a separation period, right? So one person normally moves out, and now they're living separate lives while going through the divorce and going through all the paperwork and all the court dates and stuff like that. All right, so not in all cases, but a lot of times that's how it turns out. It's rare, but there are some times where the couple will remain in the same home while they're going through the divorce, and it's sometimes for financial reasons. So the question becomes, now what? You're separated, you're going through a divorce, but you're not legally divorced yet, and someone asks you out on a date. All right, so what should you do? Is it okay to go out on a date with someone while you're going through divorce, while things are not final? That's the question you want to ask today, guys. And in my opinion, I would say no. All right. And it's just my opinion, and I'm going to explain why here in a second. All right. So here are what I'm going to call three reasons why you shouldn't date while you're going through a divorce. All right. So number one is that spiritually and legally you are still married. All right. So biblically, as long as you guys are still legally married, it's considered adultery. All right. So technically, it's really cheating that way. Also, too, I'll say this: even in some states, cheating on your spouse is also actually against the law. So I would say, guys, until the divorce is final, I don't think you should be dating anyone because you are breaking your covenant that you made with God, and also in some instances you may also be breaking the law. All right. So that's number one. Number two is this: I don't think you should date while you're going through the divorce, because I think you should give yourself some time to heal. I think bringing a new person into the picture while you're going through the divorce is just not a good idea. All right, I don't think it's fair to you, and I don't think it's fair to the new person to bring someone new into the picture while you're going through divorce. All right, I don't think you should try to use a new relationship to get over the person that you're divorcing. All right. It's not healthy, and it's just not right to try to use someone to get over someone else. All right. I've never been through a divorce, but I prayed for and I've counseled a number of people who have. And in most cases, a lot of people, they say the same thing. They say that divorce feels like grief. They say divorce feels like that you're grieving someone who passed away, who died. They say you go through periods of extreme sadness, periods of depression, periods of loneliness, and it really doesn't have anything to do most times with the person. It's not always about wanting the person back. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's just adjusting to like this new normal of being alone and having someone who's been attached to you for so many years to be ripped away from your life. So it's very devastating. So I think that you shouldn't date during this time, because I think this should be a time of healing, a time of you getting counseling, and a time of just really just taking care of yourself. All right, and not rushing into a new relationship while you're still healing from the person you're divorcing. All right, guys. And also, I'll say this too. I think dating while you're still legally married can also like cause a safety issue as well. Can you imagine if you're out on a date with someone else and you bump into the person who you're getting a divorce from, and now they see you out with someone else? You don't know how they may just actually lose their mind. You never know never know how someone will react in a situation, and now you're putting yourself in danger, and also the person who you're dating in danger. So I just wouldn't encourage it. It can also, like I said, pose a safety issue as well. So just give yourself some time to heal, and be careful not to put yourself in a situation that may affect your safety or someone else's safety. All right, guys. And then number three, I'll say this: the reason you shouldn't date while going through a divorce is because you don't want to get in the way of what God is doing. All right. So how many times have you seen a couple who was separated and going through a divorce, but God intervened, and He reconciled that couple and He brought them back together. I've seen it happen so many times. Sometimes it even happens after the couple has been divorced for years. You know, God will reunite that couple, reconcile them, and bring them back together. So listen, let me say this to my single people: if you're dating someone and they tell you that they're separated and that they're going through a divorce, I would just immediately just put that relationship on pause, like right away. And I would just say, hey, look, I respect the fact that you're going through a divorce, but just give me a call when things are final. I don't want to be hindrance to what's going on in your life, and I'm just really not comfortable with this. And just remove yourself from that situation. All right, until the divorce is final. I think that's a very respectable thing to do. Well, some of you saying, well, why should I do that? Well, listen, because you don't know what kind of prayers that wife is praying to get her husband, maybe praying to get her husband back. You don't know what kind of prayers that husband may be praying to get his wife back. Or you don't know what kind of prayers those children may be praying, for God to bring their family and restore their family back together. So don't get in the way of what God is doing by dating someone who's separated and who's going through a divorce. All right, don't be the reason why reconciliation didn't take place because you were in the way of God trying to move in someone's marriage. All right, so because we can have a plan in our minds as to what we think we want. You may think that divorce is the answer, but it may be. But I'll say it like this: so we can have a plan as to what we think we want, but it's God's purpose that would always prevail. All right. And you can look at Proverbs 19:21, where it says, many are the plans in the person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails. All right. That's Proverbs 19:21. So again, you can have a plan as to what you think you may want, but it's God's purpose that would always prevail. God knows the purpose and plan for your life. And let me give this little disclaimer real quick, guys. Let me say this. If you have a spouse that is abusing you physically or abusing you sexually or God forbid, even abusing your children sexually, I personally don't feel like you have any obligation to try and restore that marriage. And I think you should leave right away. That's my opinion. And I know you have pastors out there who will say, well, the Bible says unless there's cheating involved, you can't get divorced. I think that's foolish. And I think if someone is abusing you physically or sexually, or like I said, God forbid, abusing you or your children sexually or physically, you need to get away from them as soon as possible. Protect yourself and protect your children. And don't let anyone incorrectly use the Bible to try to manipulate you to get back with someone that's causing you harm. All right. And jeopardizing you or your children's safety. All right. So sorry if I went off on a tangent on that, but I just had to make that clear. All right, guys. So those are my thoughts, guys, on the whole dating while you're going through divorce. Again, it's just my opinion. I'm not being legalistic, just kind of sharing my thoughts. So, but tell me your thoughts in the comments, guys. Do you think it's okay for people to date while they're going through a divorce? Or give me your honest opinion. Or maybe some of you guys have dated someone while they were separated going through divorce. If you don't mind, give us, share your story with us in the comments, and let's just talk about it. Let's have an honest, healthy conversation about this, guys. All right. So again, that's my opinion. Hopefully you guys got something from it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Pastor Terron Morris, and I'll see you guys next time on the next episode of the Transform But You podcast. God bless you guys.